The M14, officially the United States Rifle caliber 7.62mm M14, is a 3-star RF that's available from normal and heavy production, some stage drops from 3-3 onwards, and as a career quest reward for reaching Commander Level 40. The development of the M14 originally stemmed from the multiple experimental versions of the M1 Garand, such as the addition of automatic fire and changing the en-bloc clip for a detachable 20-round box magazine. Many different experimental rifles were developed, such as the T-44 and T-47, both of which eventually competed against foreign weapons such as the FNFAL, known as the T-48 in trials. Eventually, the T-44 won the trials due to the lower weight, simplicity, the self-compensating gas system within the T-44, and the notion of ease of manufacturing due to pre-existing machinery from producing M1 Garands, though this later proved to be false. The T-44 was adopted and designated the M14 as the U.S. Infantry Service Rifle of choice. Starting production in mid-1958, the 101st Airborne Division was the only unit to have every soldier equipped with an M14 by 1960, due to service delays, with the rest of the military getting the M14 by late 1961. The M14 was not only to replace the M1 Garand as a service rifle, but also the M3 Grease Gun SMG, M1 Carbine, and BAR. The intention was to make logistics more simple by having one type of ammo for troops as well as parts. The M14 was found to be inferior to the Garand, too powerful for an SMG role, and too light as an MG. It didn't see much success in Vietnam as well, due to being heavy and large, and the stock swelled due to the moisture, causing accuracy issues. It was eventually replaced by the M16 after serving for 7 years, from 1957 to 1964, though it does still see some use as a DMR. The M14 is a gas-operated, rotating bolt semi-automatic rifle, which fires the 7.62 by 51mm NATO cartridge from a 20-round detachable box magazine, firing at 700 to 750 rounds per minute, out to a range of 457 to 3,406 meters. It has the option of fully automatic fire, but it generally wasn't used due to the amount of recoil from the 7.62 round, and is still used today. In her character art, drawn by Rain Lan, M14 wears a sailor uniform that's based off of United States Army uniform. She wears a white shirt underneath a brown button-up sailor's jacket with a neck bow tie, dark blue cuffs and collar, and has 2 long straps flowing behind her, a dark blue pleated skirt, white thigh highs with dark blue cuffs, brown loafers, and ribbons tying up her hair. She has some medals on her chest, which I personally cannot identify but would love to hear what they are, and a US badge on her collar. She holds her M14 with both hands with the safety off and her finger behind the trigger. There also appears to be a rail system on top of the M14 she holds, as well as the M14 itself being left-handed. In her voice lines voiced by Onishi Saori, who also voices Hisako Arato in Food Wars, Ais Wallenstein in Danmachi, Doppel in Monster Musume, Ai Ninomiya in Amanchu, Muramasu Senju in Eromanga Sensei, Vigny in Gabriel Dropout, Kuro in Restaurant to Another World, Meijiro McQueen in Uma Musume, Sawako Sekujo in Bokuben, Safin Tite Nikes in Monster Girl Doctor, Maria Momosaka in Asamake, Shikimori in Shikimori-san, Maya in Azure Lane, and Himuro Senna in Blue Archive, M14 revels in victory.
これが M14 の力。私の価値が認められる日は必ず来る。指揮官、聞こえました？勝利の鐘が鳴ってます。勝利っていい響きですよね。さあ、張り切っていきましょう。勝利を手に入れるのです。
Like some RFs, M14's main role is increasing her own damage for a set period of time. Her tiles only affect HGs, reducing their skill cooldown by 12%, and is best positioned on tiles 1, 4, or 7. At level 10, her first skill, damage focus, has M14 increase her own damage by 60%, about 173 for 5 seconds. This skill has an 8-second CD and 5-second ICD. When fully linked at level 100 and maxed out, base M14 has 84 HP per link for a total of 420, haha funny weed number, consumes 55 ammo and 90 rations, deals 108 damage, has 27 evasion, 71 accuracy, 43 rate of fire, 7 move speed, a 40% crit rate, and deals 150% damage on crit. Base M14 is able to equip telescopic sights, hollow sights, red dot sights, suppressors, AP ammo, microchips, rangefinders, and capes. The recommended equipment for base M14 is a 5-star telescopic sight, 5-star AP ammo, or special AP ammo if you want more damage at the cost of armor penetration, and a 5-star cape. This gives her plus 48% crit rate, plus 25% crit damage, and plus 180 armor pen. This brings her stats to 88% crit rate, 175% crit damage, and 195 armor pen. To fully mod M14, she will need 2,600 memfrags and 90 dummy cores, requiring about 14.5 days to gain the memfrags required. Her rarity goes to 4 stars when modded. In her mod art, drawn by the same artist, M14 wears the exact same clothes as before, but with some additions. The most notable addition is the large, baggy brown coat she now wears on top of her sailor uniform, which has many pouches and patterns on it. A thigh magazine pouch on her upper right thigh, a new tan sailor uniform, coat, which doesn't have the medals anymore, some tactical gloves, a collar around her neck, and some pouches below her arms. The M14 appears to be in its right-handed configuration with a Picatinny rail system on top and a bipod underneath. When fully modded, M14's tiles now give HGs a 15% skill cooldown buff. M14's stats increase to 86 HP per link for a total of 430, dealing 111 damage, having 28 evasion, 74 accuracy, and 44 rate of fire. Her first skill now increases damage by 65% to about 183 for 5 seconds. At level 10, M14's second skill, Clear Fighting Spirit, when damage focus is active, increases crit damage by 10% for 6 seconds. This is strange as damage focus only lasts for 5 seconds. Without any equipment, this raises M14's crit damage to 160% for 6 seconds. Were M14 to score a crit, and because damage focus must be active, she could be able to hit up to 293 damage, though my math may be off before you say I'm wrong down in the comments like you always do. The special equipment M14 gains from Mod 3 is the M2 bipod, which gives her plus 48% crit chance and plus 10 accuracy when maxed out. The recommended equipment for modded M14 is the M2 bipod, 5-star special AP ammo, and 5-star cape. This gives her plus 10 damage, plus 10 accuracy, plus 48% crit rate, plus 25% crit damage, and plus 120 armor pen. This brings her stats to 121 damage, 84 accuracy, 88% crit chance, 175% crit damage, and 135 armor pen. Bringing her skills into the equation, when both of her skills proc, her damage would be about 200, and her crit damage would be about 185 or 369. Again, my math might be a little off. Base M14 is pretty good as far as 3-star RFs go. Great rate of fire compared to other slower firing RFs, and a skill that buffs her damage and makes her a pretty good pick, even among some of the 4 and 5-star counterparts. Her rate of fire goes pretty well with damaging buffs from handguns as well, though she can partially be beaten out in some positions by the likes of SVD and WA2000. Her mod version, on the other hand, isn't nicknamed War Goddess for nothing. Though she still has some of the drawbacks as before, her second skill further compensates for her underpowered damage, as well as her already high rate of fire being buffed even higher. Though her special equipment isn't amazing, it is good enough to max out if you have the resources. There's no niches that M14 is forced into with her mod, just pure stat boots that make her a killing machine. I personally highly recommend getting her to at least Mod 2. Mod 3 if you really want that skin and the special equipment. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates and check out my Azure Lane and Arknights videos as well. I also stream a bit. Tomorrow's video will be on the US destroyer Ingram from Azure Lane.